Good morning. Liberty. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Ernie, for inviting me to speak. It's not the first time I'm here. This nice house hosted by Donna and Ernie. I was here at least 4 times earlier. I had a chance to speak at Ernest Hancock Declare Your Independence back in 2011 when I did internship at Goldwater Institute. Later it was 2013 when I came here with my friends, also libertarians. These were guys actually who started Poland for Ron Paul. So that is another topic we can talk about. And here I'm back again. But before I get into the point why I'm here and what is this Arizona project about, I'll tell you a little bit.
I got to tell you this. When Mitt Romney in 12 went to Poland, he's the nominee. I'm going to show my international everywhere he went. Ron Paul signs everywhere, Mitt Romney in Poland.
That's what we did. That's what we did. And they really didn't like it. Romney's team was trying to avoid us there. Really. I'm in this freedom movement back in Poland for a good 13 years now. I started really early, before I turned 18. We have number of different pro-liberty groups. Actually, the number is growing. The one I associated myself with was called COLIBER. It's Conservative Libertarian Association, and it's a massive thing. They have like 25 branches across Poland. It's non-partisan, but it is political. We have ideas, and it is designed mainly for the high school students and college students to be active, to try to influence the public. I think it's something similar to Youth Americans for Liberty. You have this organization, YAL, here, right? So, being active there, I try to look around what can I do and how can I transform my professional life to make it a passion, to connect it with my passion. And my passion is to fight for liberty. And one of the big steps in my, let's call it career, was 2007 when I met this guy, Glenn Cripe, in Slovakia. I found out that there are international camps for young people nearby in Slovakia, which is only, I live in southern Poland, so that was only maybe 3 or 4 hours driving. So I thought, why not? Why should I not try? My English was very poor that time, but I still thought, okay, it's just a question of, practice. And I came there, and it was a huge surprise how nice these people were. First of all. Secondly, the fact that they didn't expect me to speak fluent English. They said, this is why you're here. You're here to practice English, but you will not be talking about weather like you do at school and about other stupid things. But we'll talk about stuff that matters. We'll talk about liberty. We read Bastiat together, and then we discussed it. We read John Locke. We talked about very, controversial concepts. For example, I remember a debate on euthanasia. Should it be legal or not? We debated immigration and other stuff. I was like, damn, this is awesome. I want to be more involved in this. So I talked to Glenn. I told him, Glenn, I think in Poland we have a big market for these type of ideas and these type of projects. So since then until now, we organized 7 or 8 liberty camps in Poland. We also decided to move Polish people abroad to different countries, and in the last 2 years we have camps in Malta, Greece, and Italy. And all these camps were, the majority of students were from Poland. Of course, I try to appeal to other people, but basically the Polish market is easier for me. My organization, which I'll talk about, is quite well known. So basically, after this, student battlefield episode, I decided to get more involved, and I started an organization in 2012. So right after the first Arizona experience, I came to Poland and I started Freedom and Entrepreneurship Foundation. So what we do is basically education for freedom. Our goal is to lift Polish youth, Polish young people, to be able to take positions in the public sphere to influence the public. And we started the Polish American Leadership Academy. This is a really successful project. We are now recruiting for the 8th semester. We call it addition, but I know semester makes more sense here in the US. We have more than 1,000 alumni, and these kids, we teach, you know, things like Austrian economics. We teach them public speaking. We teach them ethics also. We teach them negotiations, and also how to, if they want to be in politics. That's not my way, but you know, for some people they choose it. We teach them how to win election being a libertarian. This is a different strategy than for most of the people who run into politics. So we have trainers who are also libertarians, because they know that you need to channel your message different way. Anyway, now we have different NGO courses for people who want to be in the third sector. We have a political course, and we have a very theoretical course as well, because I believe any future leader, doesn't matter in politics or in media or in third sector, they need to have the theoretical background. Because if it happens that somebody will question them on economics, they should know the answers. And we have the answers, because as Ernie says, we know the truth. But you know, it needs study before you can say that. So it's a successful project. It is a successful project, as well as Liberty Camp is a good project. I just feel this is my way of living. I want to educate young people how to lift them in order to let them, you know, be active in the public sphere and influence it to make Poland more free country. And if we can influence broader audience than Polish, even better. I don't want to narrow it to Poland only. Basically, we see some first effects. If you look at Poland right now and what is going on there, okay, from one side, the government sucks. The current, the previous, and probably still the next one, because you cannot get the change right like this. We know that is a long race. It will not be done in 5 minutes or even not in 5 years. This is a generational thing, like as Ernie said, generation next. But our young people understand more and more that things are not free, and freedom is not free. We see it not only by the growth of the pro-freedom organizations, all the spectrum of pro-freedom organizations, because orientation for freedom, individual freedom, and free markets, you will see it. Among the people who have a little bit left-wing disposition, they are maybe more socially left. You will see it on the right. Poland is more conservative country, so in our context, it will be usually libertarian conservative version of freedom fighters. But you see it everywhere. And we have, in the year of 2000, just to say, there were basically 2 organizations in Poland dedicated for freedom and free markets. It was one political party, very tiny one. It was called Union of Real Politics, and that was Adam Smith Center in Warsaw. And now it's more than 15. Maybe they are not super big. They are not like Cato Institute, but it's not necessary, right? They are authentic. They are full of people, passionate people. These people, most of them, don't get money for it. They do it because they love it. And they specialize in different issues. Some of them are more dedicated to young people. Some of them are about lobbying, and you know, they're more like think tanks. Another, like mine, is about education. And we have also, you know, one cause groups, the groups that are dedicated to change one cause. This is also great. And we start forming coalitions. We are not as good as you are about this. We need meetings like this in Poland. I am here in Phoenix for 2 weeks now, and you can go to a conservative or libertarian meeting every day. This is awesome. We need this as well, but we will do it. So also, if you look at the political scene, this is not the most friendly environment for libertarians. I know. I also don't enjoy it. I don't run. But this is a reality. And you can see that the hardcore libertarian party, which is maybe right-wing libertarian party, but they got almost 5% in the election. That was almost 1 million votes. And we have also 3 libertarians in the parliament. They run on different platforms. So I estimate this support for freedom fighters at about between 7 to 10% of active voters. We are talking about more than a million people. But let's put it aside and let's talk about what's next. So why I'm here? I am here with my dear fiancée Magda, hosted by Glenn, for two reasons. Of course, it's nice to be in Arizona in the winter, because the weather is so much different, and the environment is colorful. It's not so gray like in Poland this time of the year. But the bigger reason is the project I want to start here. Ernie briefly described it. This will be called Arizona Project, and we basically want to bring 8 talented students here to do internships in different placements according to their talents and abilities. We do not want to do a lottery and send Ernie whoever. If Ernie gets an intern at Freedom's Phoenix, we'll make sure that this guy knows what media is, and he knows what liberty is as well, right? So if the intern will go to the law office, and we have a friend, Alex Kolodin, who is also a freedom fighter, and he has a law office in Central Phoenix, we'll make sure this is a person who knows the law and knows what American law is about. So this will be, from one hand, internships, but we don't want to narrow it to internships only. My organization, Freedom and Entrepreneurship Foundation, has a mission, and the mission is to spread liberty, and is to form a future generation of freedom fighters, liberty lovers. So this part is super important as well. Together with Glenn, together maybe with Steve Slavinsky of Center for Economic Liberty at ASU, we want to educate these guys at the educational course. Possibly it will be called LLI University. We want to teach them American history with the special emphasis on the founding father principles. So they will know where they came and what is the history of this country and why liberty played, and hopefully still play, such a big role here, and why it's important to keep this country binded to the constitutional values or even beyond it. And we know that there are some dangers about this. Secondly, we want to teach them right economics, free market economics, and we want to make sure they will understand that it is capitalism and free markets that make people prosperous, not any government with bloody heart or whatever, welfare state. So this project should start in the fall this year, the latest October 1st, 2016. And we are trying to combine all these issues. Before I leave Phoenix, it will be February 21st, I need to combine all the internship providers, and this is going pretty well. I'm very happy to see people who are ready to allow Polish students to apply for the internship, but we also need some support, We estimated that one student will need to pay around $6,000 for a semester. By semester, I mean it's more than 4 months. It includes accommodation, insurance, flight ticket, whatever. It does not include food and drinks. And this is quite a bit of money, especially now when dollar is strong. So we are welcoming any donations. Money would be the best, but also if somebody has, accommodation or something like that to help these kids to make it happen, it's all welcome. So basically, in the spring when I come back to Poland, I want to recruit people, to match them with the internship providers. So in the fall they can come here and we can have amazing time, because this is gonna be unique. 8 pro-freedom liberty fighters from Poland here learning and how to be more effective, because I believe Arizona, it is a land of people dedicated to freedom. It's relatively very free place. Changes are happening here. In Europe, a lot of people, a lot of libertarians already resigned. They said, we cannot change anything. We are discussing, and you guys are changing things here. So this is very influential. We want to help this, and we want to, get the power, charge batteries, so when these guys will go back home, they can make Poland also a freer country. That will be most of what I wanted to say. Ernie, do you want me also to discuss Ukraine? Or because I remember you mentioned this.
I got like a few minutes, 10 after he goes on, I wanted to give Glenn 2 minutes, so you got 93.6 seconds to say whatever you want about Ukraine.
Okay, because Aaron told me, oh, maybe you want to mention something about Ukraine. Yes, I was on Maidan, invited by my friend, winter 2014, I believe it was, when the biggest fights happened, 10 days before the shootings. And yes, it's true that the biggest powers in this world were interested in these affairs. It includes America, it includes Europe, but most of all, it includes Russia. And I think this point is very often missed. This country, Russia and Putin, were the biggest power that was interested in changing affairs in Ukraine, and that pissed off people. The young people on the Maidan Square were pissed off that the power from Moscow will dictate them what country should they get. Of course America and Western Europe was interested in change, that's true, but they were not like these young guys, I know them, they were not puppets, believe me, they were not, this was not just a puppet show run by Obama. Of course Obama and Europe liked the fact that they rebelled, but they were not doing what they told them. This story is basically not true. And right now the situation is very tough because they are not strong enough to keep the country united, and they are struggling. So maybe, yes, maybe it's good to raise the question if the revolution was a good idea. That's true. I also would like to raise this question, but I certainly know that they had good reasons to be pissed off. The corruption, the situation in the country, it was almost direct and naked that the government they had, the Yanukovych government, was run from Moscow. People don't like it. And of course, the waving the European Union flag is a stupid thing because European Union is nothing good for you. But when you see your country going down, you're looking for different alternatives, and they basically saw an alternative there. And you are right, and many people are right that this is not the best alternative. The West, especially in Europe, has a lot of weaknesses. But for these guys, it's relatively a little bit better than what Moscow offers. And it offers censorship, oligarchy, and monopolies. In Western Europe, we have also not a great system. Social democracy. But it's relatively, they want to change, maybe they want to change how to say? There's a slave and master. Maybe they wanted to change the master. They should have right to change it. And, this is more complex than some people think, basically. And I don't want to say that both sides of the spectrum are sane. Nothing like that. They're not sane. But people were pissed off, and they had a good right to rebel against tyranny. Thank you.
Thank you.